Well, hello everybody. Once again, it is Nick C here from a ridiculous time in the morning. It is 37 minutes past 12 here. I'll probably have a lie-in the afternoon like I usually do. But anyway, of course, it is a special edition of Latest with Nick C. Now, I'm going to go to, of course, the theme tune, which wasn't allowed on Latest with Nick C earlier today on TikTok. So I'm going to play it to you now if I can. So bear with me if I.
Tell me about it will never be the same. It will never be the same. Life is bigger. Life is bigger. Your love, your love.
Show me love which comforts me. Show me love which comforts me.
Your love, your love. Tell me about. Get the flow, get the flow. Tell me about. It will never be the same.
Show me love which comforts me. Show me love which comforts me.
It will never be the same.
Show me love which comforts me.
It will never be the same.
Show me love which comforts me.
Sorry there, we've got a blank screen here with nothing on it. No channel. No, of course, we are a channel of touring us. And welcome back. Oh, there I am. Anyway, of course, that was a bit of a laughing stock here, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. I am one pick, by the way, on this free game online. And I could actually win £5 within the next 2 days. Hopefully I'll do that. But of course, I can't mention the site name. But yeah, it's just a free game, by the way. One pick away. I just need that pick so I can get it, ladies and gentlemen. And boo to you as well, family and friends. You just come on that, basically. Oh dear. You just come on that. I can't believe that. Hello. Where was this taken? What some of the videos Well, of course, I explained at the beginning of the video, was taken on a bus, and of course, the last picture was the sunset from the opposite end of the Cambridge train station. And of course, yes, we showed you a little bit of a front view of the bus view, as if you're going in a car on the A1307 from Haverhill to Cambridge. So yeah, I was saying on TikTok, very quickly I'll say this before I go ahead and talk you through a video which I'm actually going to do by showing you. I don't want to play it to you now. I'm going to have to blank it here. So I'll start.
I think Zombie Nation was playing in a car.
That's a little bit of it. Absolutely. Where have I gone? Have I gone and disappeared now? Oh dear. Let's go to my picture there. That's not it, is it? Okay, that's a little bit of background music there. I do apologise about that. Of course, I wanted to play you the video, which I will do in just a moment, in actual fact. So it is of the Knife Angel, which is due to be, as it is later on this morning from this time here. Sorry about the poor quality webcam here I've had to change over to, but never mind about that. It is the inbuilt camera of the laptop on that note there. As long as you can hear me, that's the main thing. So yeah, the first video is going to be of the Knife Angel, which is due to be taken down later on this afternoon, and from a Mr. DJ Dan, or Dan DJ, whatever his name is. He's a local DJ from Haverhill, and of course, he has now, of course, joined and subscribed to our channel, and hopefully he comes on the chat at some point as well. So we got our moderator in the chat this evening, first time this evening. So how cool is that? The sound is not my style. The music sounded odd. Did it really? Oh, okay. It's not to everyone's liking. Depends on what you can't hear me. Oh, that shouldn't be the scenario. Why is it you can't? I'm very quiet, am I? I am trying to speak up, by the way. If I turn it up a little bit, can you hear me now? Perhaps the music wasn't as loud. That's why you couldn't hear it very well. So there you go. So yeah, it's only a theme tune background that you are hearing. So let's have a listen to it now. In actual fact. Can you hear that very clearly now? It actually sounds a lot better when you hear it on the speakers. Can you hear me now?
Entering the next level. Entering the next level.
Very quiet. The music is very quiet. I don't get that. Don't know what's happening, but of course, yeah. I don't really get that. It doesn't make sense. I can't even get the live up, never known. Oh, hang on, I can get it up now. So, yeah, I do apologise about that. Is it not working? Live. I can't even get the live up. Never known. I don't really get what's going on here. I can't even get it to go live. Can't even see myself on it. perhaps it's not showing. It doesn't make sense. It's not even showing live. What's going on? I don't really get it. So yeah, apparently I'm going live, but you still can't hear me very well. I might know the answer to that. No, it's on the USB microphone, so it should be coming out louder than the CB. So I don't know what is happening here, and it's not even showing up that it's going live. So perhaps people are not seeing us. It might have gone off air or something. I don't know what's happening, but of course, apparently it's not live. You tried to scare me. I can hear you now. Keep the pin off. What? Of iPhone 8. Oh, that. Well, that's not anything to do with the live stream. Can anyone share the live stream, by the way? Because I can't really get it my end. It's normally coming up, and there seems to be a problem with it. So I don't know what's happening. I can't get it my end. So yeah, I don't know why I can't get it. It's maybe not coming up properly. It should be all right. You can still see me. That's great. As long as you can still see me, that is the main thing out of all this. But I can't actually see anything at all whatsoever on my phone. Nothing at all. I see the latest one, but not the actual live itself. It should still come up. Don't know why my phone's playing up like that. I really don't understand it. It's very strange. Should be coming up live. No, nothing at all. Very odd. Very odd indeed. So yeah, don't know what's happening with YouTube and things like that. Oh, it's come back. Yeah, it keeps coming and going. Click the link. Right, I've got that. Thank you very much. We'll come back now. So I've seen that, so I can see myself now, and I will know if it sounds all right. I'm just going to test this sound again, see if it plays again, and of course to prove it, I'll turn my
Entering the next level.
it's not that.
I think Zombie Nation was playing in a car which has just raced down this area here. And welcome to Hayville, Suffolk here on Monday the 23rd of September 2024. My name's Nick C here, and of course this is the King Grill here just behind me, and behind me even further back is the Knife Angel lit up in the sky. Well, actually lit up on the floor, pointing towards the sky. as you see, they've moved all of the benches, and the reason for that is because
What?
you just said a minute ago.
Distance.
Yeah, the distance between the two benches, and
Won't be together.
they probably want to spread it out a bit. Yeah. Got benches down there. These are the King Grill lads working hard. Here comes the bell.
Where's the next bell?
Reminds me of the Nightmare programme.
Yeah,
Bell.
yeah it does.
Above Peacocks used to be a nightclub called the Rust Nightclub, if anyone remembers that. Used to be 2 bars.
Did it?
Yep.
Ah.
And that over there where 9 Jars is now, which is called the Suffolk Hotel,
Yes.
known for many events, and singers come there these days. But it was called the Bell Hotel. A member of my family actually played his trumpet outside there. Wow. Lots of whales there. What have you got there?
A rap.
A rap.
Don't worry, I'm not rapping.
You're not rapping.
Yeah.
So give it a mark out of 10 when you're eating it.
I can't get open.
What is it, a wrap of chicken or something?
No, it's a kebab wrap.
Oh, kebab wrap. I've never tried one of those, but there you go.
Yeah.
From King Grill, eh? Quality King Grill in Hayville. Doing very well in promoting their service.
And as well, now Nick's got safety for himself and his phone and his wallet. He's now got a phone bag on him, so he doesn't have to panic anymore. Going, where's my phone? Where's my wallet? Thanks to me, I gave it to him as a gift, as I got myself.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll be watching this later when I go back on TikTok.
Yep.
We'll have a good laugh when we are settled down and relaxed on our sofas. Absolutely.
And beds.
And beds.
You know.
Oh, I know what you mean, yeah.
You know when I shut with you, can you just cut it off, Nick?
Yeah, I'll talk to you when I finish.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay. Hold the thought. This is the Knife Angel. What the hell does it look like from here? And yeah, it's been up here for quite some time. Apparently they're going to take it down soon, but of course 31st they're going to take it down. Okay. And this is the lit up version. It's right next to the Drabbit Smock, which is over there. And of course, yeah, we'll probably have more detail of it in just a moment. Oh, my food is here. Cheers, guys. We'll check out the Knife Angel in just a moment in more detail. Okay, but there is a taxi just behind us. That's not ours, by the way. Of course, the main point of this video is to talk about the food that I've got here. Okay, she's got a wrap, as in a kebab wrap, but
It's
I've
so
got.
delicious.
Oh, sounds good to me. Got the meal deal #1 from the King Grill of Haverhill. Sorry about that guy that was speaking. I can't do anything about that. Oh, she's opened the can for me as well, which is quite nice. We're on this sort of bench here, which is all spread out here in Haverhill. It's quite a nice evening for a change before it starts chucking it down. Hopefully it won't. But yeah, I've got myself burger sauce here. You can see that. Of course, I've opted for the burger sauce, and the burger looks absolutely tasty.
Num 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 num.
It's nice, isn't it? So let's have a look at what we've got here. Of course, I've got no jalapenos. The reason for that is because they're too strong and spicy. But of course, jalapenos are a bit more stronger than gherkins. I prefer the gherkins rather than the jalapenos. I like the bean kind of style things, and I generally just chuck them away. But
Where's your favourite burger sauce? Somewhere you've been before or somewhere you like?
I like the Chalkston chip burger sauce. I prefer that one. That is the best one. I'm going to try this one.
Oh. So hard in my mouth. So hard.
Yeah, a little bit more salty flavour of burger sauce, but they're not too bad.
I might put my tooth by mistake and bit that out.
I'm going to try that
Sorry, I
again.
just put it out for birds. Oh no, that was hard.
Isn't too bad. It isn't too bad.
Oh, nice.
I think Benny's do a good sauce. And Pizza Papillon, which is down the other end of the high street, they do good burger sauce as well. You know, that sweet style of, you know, burger sauce.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the salad I've got. Tomato, onion, and a bit of lettuce. You can't go wrong. And a bit of cheese to go with it. Look at that. It's just really amazing. It's bigger than the McDonald's. And that's the other part of the salad you get with it. So go and grab yourself one if you're ever in the vicinity of Haverhill. I'm going to give a mark out of 10 very shortly. Let's crack on and eat.
I've finished. I was hungry. Sorry, I've finished.
I'm sure you was hungry. Hungry.
Yeah.
I'm hungry and thirsty.
Are you? Oh.
And I got the can to go with it. So all that for £7. You can't grumble for that. Just wanted to say I got my wooden fork. They stopped using the plastic forks.
What difference? Dangerous.
Plastic are dangerous, is it?
Plastic breaks.
Yeah, it did. Well, it didn't because I used it sensibly when there was plastic. But of course they can be dangerous. So can wood though, it can splinter.
Sorry, I've got no more hayfo tablets for you. I've got my last one for me.
And they say about saving trees.
Where is it?
Because wood comes from trees, don't it? Remember? And they make paper out of it as well.
Sorry, my hayfo was really bad.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
Huh?
Doesn't make sense. Sorry, that's the bag.
Yeah.
Looks great, doesn't it? Let's get tucked in before it blows away. So there we are. I've finished my meal here, and of course, moderator Panda and Sheep over there somewhere has enjoyed her wrap and kebab as well, but she felt really full up at the end of it. So what we're now going to do is give it a rate out of 10. I'm going to give it about a 8 for my food because they could have given us the fork and they forgot to, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a minor thing. 8 out of 10 seems fair to me. We're now going to have a look in more detail of the Knife Angel.
So you went.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
exactly. Harley.
Yeah, Harley was
So,
14, I think.
so you remember that horrific
Harley.
news?
Yes, Harley.
Yeah.
Because yes, it was 14 or 15, wasn't it?
I bet it brought tears to your eyes of a horrific crime that took place in Haverhill. We should not tolerate such thing anywhere.
There you go. It says Harley. Yeah, it was 16. Here we go. I forever Harley. Bashford. Yeah, here he is. He was 16. There we go.
There you go.
There. His name was Harley. That's his name.
Harley Barfield.
16. Got stabbed by some stupid people.
It's great that it's in the middle there. A wonderful design here. A true youngster at that age.
Harley. Remember Harley?
Harley
Harley.
will never be forgotten.
No,
He'll be looking over us now as we speak in remembrance. And I hope they do a Remembrance Day for it as well. To remember that, of course, we need to stick together at difficult times like this.
Speak up.
And speak up, especially to freedom of speech.
I'm doing it for you. Carry on.
Thank you for
Yes.
coming on to discuss about it there. Thank you, Panda. Thank you, I would say Nicole as well.
Harley was 16.
She's doing her videoing around the area as well. Look at that. That is just an amazing monument. And it should never be taken down. But it is going to be taken down apparently on the 31st of September. As we look at the close-ups of the knives here.
That's incorrect. It is the 27th taken down.
How beautiful it's lit up here at night.
Angels watching over me. There's a good track by, of course, All Night All Day, which is a spiritual, and it's definitely out of copyright anyway. All day, angels watching over me is quite relevant to the Ninth Angel. Angels watching over me, my Lord, all night, all day, angels watching over me. Sorry, I had to sing it.
These people here knew the, young boy. Apparently, so we can't show too much of these people in respect. But, this is what it is here. And any knife crime should not be tolerated. And this is why this knife angel has been put here. So we thought we'd come and check this out here before it goes. Apparently by the 31st, I believe, of September, it's going to be put down. But I think it should be put up forever to, of course, prevent anything like this happening again. So I thought I'd do a little short report outside. Of course, the Drabbert Smock here, where the Knife Angel has been placed here. I'll probably show you a daytime version soon, because it probably looks just as good during the day, and it's nicely lit up at night as well, which is amazing. So yeah, wherever you hear about the Knife Angel, I've seen about it on Facebook, some really good presentations on that, so we can mark a really good memorable time here. Perhaps they should do like a Remembrance Day for it, bit like D-Day, that kind of thing, where we all gather around and pay our respects, and hope that this kind of chilling experience never ever happens again in our entire lives. Thank you for watching this, and we'll see you next time. From the Knife Angel,
Amazing how it's done, isn't it?
just outside
Hey, it's amazing how it's done.
the Market Square. Yeah, it's amazing how it's done. Just outside the Market Square, Pease Hill of Haverhill in Suffolk. We shall catch up with you soon. Stunning piece of art in remembrance of that 16-year-old boy who passed away in Haverhill, Shrewsbury Square.
And it goes down, or gets taken down on the 27th, not the 31st. That was incorrect information. Whoever said that will get a sort of, I don't know, a shake, a shake of, I don't know. But what I would say is, yeah, that was inaccurate information. It will be taken down on the 27th, which is the Friday, the 27th of September, 2024. That information was really much unknown, so there we go. There we have it. Okay. Right, okay, in the background you can hear a mixture of sort of tunes kind of relative to the, or related in some sort of way or another, you know, in other words, they're in relation to, of course, what we have been speaking about, the Knife Angel, which of course is a chilling experience for anyone to suffer that at that particular age of 16. Harvey will always be missed by everyone, and condolences to the families at this horrible time that they will never ever forget for their lives for years to come. But of course we hope that never happens anywhere, that we travel to anywhere, and you know, hopefully this is all avoided. Try and switch that on.
I think
Yeah, and I can actually get rid of that now. We can actually do a video of that at another stage. In other words, of course, there will be a video on that note. Oh, there you go. I'm back now. I must have switched myself off by a change there. Of course, let's see what family and friends is saying here. In other words, of course, panda and sheep. So, Talkstone Estate in Haverhill, Harley Young, boy got stabbed and killed. Absolutely horrifying, chilling experience it must have been for the family at that time, you know, and we will remember them when the going down of the sun. Can you explain what that means? But of course, yeah, I think that's what you're trying to say there. So there we have it. Of course, I hope you enjoyed the video of that. We are going to stick that on as full without us talking over the top of it. We were just basically explaining it. You'll be able to hear the background music in full. Hopefully you did hear it. There was, of course, Give Me Joy in My Heart, Kumbaya at the end, and there was All Night, All Day. That's all of those were out of copyright tunes that I pieced together as a mixture of tunes. It was like a mega mix kind of thing. So that was produced using a software called Music 2000. The software that I still even have to this day on a sort of PlayStation game, and yeah, there was Music Generation 2, which I also used for something very similar to CeeLo Green, Forget Me Not, that one. Um, and, the beats I used for that were very similar, but, you know, I actually produced a track called You're an Inspiration. That's one. A lot of these are kind of like background theme tunes. That is the whole purpose of these videos here. So yeah, I'm gonna go through some snippets, if I can, very very quickly on this channel, just in case anyone hasn't. Well, hello everybody. Well, hello everybody, my name's Nick C here and welcome to a special edition of Latest with Nick C, or whatever show that you have in front of you. It could be... Well, hello there and welcome to... Well, hello everybody, my name's Nick C here and welcome to a special edition of Latest with Nick C, or whatever show that you have in...
Political commentator and a senior fellow at the brilliant New Culture Forum. Philip, I am so glad to have you here today. This is really interesting, isn't it? The divide in Reform UK. And I thought Katie Hopkins was incredibly reasonable. She's saying she does support Nigel, she does support Reform, but she's wanting to make it clear to her supporters she would be there if she could. But for whatever reason, she feels like she's been rejected by the party. Where do you stand on this one?
Hello, Dan, by the way. It's lovely to see you.
Great to see you.
It feels as though we're at a kind of watershed moment for Reform at the moment. And the things they do over the next few weeks are going to be really important. They're going to set out their stall, if you like, for the next 2 or 3 years. And if they don't gain and maintain confidence now from those grassroots people who are desperate to support them, they're going to find it very, very difficult to get it back in the ensuing months and years. I listened to what Katie said and I thought it was completely reasonable. I think we need voices like Katie's, like Tommy Robinson's, because they are essentially the voices of the people. They say what they think.
And the thing is, if you look at the Trump comparison, and remember, Nigel is so inspired by Donald Trump, and he loves all of the people who are part of the MAGA movement in the US. He's mates with Carrie Lake. So I find it really annoying, actually, that he's saying that our version of Carrie Lake, I mean, Katie Hopkins is very, very similar to Carrie Lake. When you look at their background, part of the mainstream media, had a big political awakening, effectively cancelled from the establishment. Now, I find it really annoying that he's saying, well, I completely support this person in America to be a Trump supporter, but in the UK, I don't want you because you're never going to be accepted by the British Bashing Corporation or Sly News.
It's working along their rules. It's adhering to their principles. And what Reform is all about, or what I assume Reform is all about, and what everybody thinks Reform is all about, is breaking the rules. It's about rebellion. It's about doing things differently. I think just on a very basic level, I think this is really important, right? On a very basic level, we're talking about Tommy Robinson and Katie Hopkins here. Let's just stick with those for the time being, right? Yes. You've got two incredibly intelligent people. They're not just people who can talk to the general public in a really effective way. They're also incredibly clear-sighted and absolutely spot on when it comes to culture, when it comes to politics, when it comes to society. Okay, so it isn't just a question of being populist and being down with the people and saying the right things. It's actually thinking forward. And this is my second point, okay? I'm a critical friend of Reform. I support Reform, but I would like to see more by way of policy, okay, by way of ideas. And I think Katie and Tommy would be the ideal people, as well as Westminster think tanks and all the rest of it, okay. But those kind of people would be the right people to pitch in the right ideas, because they're so clear-sighted. They know exactly what people want, and they know exactly what people think.
So don't anyone tell me that was protest. Don't anyone tell me that was about immigration or policing or poverty. Plenty of people have strong views on immigration, on crime, on the NHS and more, but they don't pick up bricks and throw them at the police. They don't set light to buildings with people inside. It was arson. It was racism. It was thuggery. It was crime.
But Philippa Casale isn't exactly what she's doing there, trying to conflate the people who had genuine concerns after Southport with that tiny, tiny, tiny group of people who were violent, which is, by the way, the exact opposite thing that the Labour Party always tells us not to do after an Islamist terror attack, where we're not meant to make any wider judgments about Muslim people.
These people turn context on and off at will. Okay. And I was just looking at that footage and I was quite frightened. This was Mummy Knows Best on steroids. It was a performance, and you could tell that she didn't mean a word of it. Okay. It was just there. It was shouting for the sake of shouting. It was throwing red meat to an audience that desperately wanted to hear it. She is talking about a group of people, and as you say, she's conflating a group of people with a tiny, tiny minority of thugs. And you know, I'm not condoning violence, and I'm certainly not condoning setting fire to things or anything like that. But what I'm talking about, okay, and what she's talking about, is a group of people who have constantly been lied to for decade upon decade, a group of people who do not have a voice, a group of people who are now second-class citizens, not only with policing, but two-tier everything, with education, with social, cultural services, with just being in and around the city and the town centres. They are second-class citizens now. Let's not forget, also, I don't know whether viewers have seen this, but there was a TED talk today from a woman in Nottingham. I don't know whether you've seen this, Dan.
No, I haven't.
But she was talking about education, and she was talking about ethnically cleansing the curriculum of white males. Okay, so this is a similar kind of thing. On the one hand, Yvette Cooper can talk about the deplorable white people, but she will not mention the other side of the coin, which is overt racism, which is happening in terms of violence, but also cultural violence, cultural racism, which is expunging a certain kind of person from public and actually private life.
There was more from Yvette Cooper, though, that I want you to decode. Let's have a look.
I've been shocked by the response from some of those in political parties on the right who once claimed to care about law and order. After rioters attacked the police, they should have given full-throated backing to our brave officers. Instead, too often we've seen them undermine the integrity and authority of the police, even making excuses for the mob. If you remember back in the run-up to Armistice Day last year, disgraceful slurs that were made against the police, which made it harder for them to do their job that day, were treated as a sacking offence for a Tory Home Secretary. A year on, those same slurs have become an article of faith for every Tory leadership contender. It is shameful what that party has become. The Tories, with their mates in reform, are just becoming right-wing wreckers, undermining respect for the rule of law, trying to fracture the very bonds that keep communities safe.
Actually, what she's talking about there, Dan, she is describing precisely what's been happening in the institutions, what's been happening in government, what's been happening to the judiciary, what's been happening in the police service. And it is her kind of people. It is the identitarians, it is the Labour supporters and the Labour MPs who have been wrecking communities. How have they been wrecking communities? It all comes back down to mass immigration, doesn't it? They've opened the floodgates and they've allowed anybody to come in. And when communities that aren't actually that robust because they're poor, when they have to deal with this kind of stuff, that's when things break down. Okay. And it is her ethos. It is the ethos of the government. They are doing what they're accusing other people of doing. It's this same narcissistic gaslighting thing. My concern is that this is going to go into overdrive even more than it is now. What did we have? 1.2 million gross last year. Okay. We're going to have much more this year. Okay. And we're going to be even more unable to complain about it because censorship and authoritarian rule of law is they're just going to be imposing those things on people like you and me, on the ordinary people, especially in the streets who just want change. It's going to be a very, very difficult time. And I worry so much about what's going to happen to this country over the next 2 or 3 years. And what makes me worry, it's not people without a voice and people who are marching in the streets. Okay, fair enough. It's people like her telling blatant lies, because there comes a point for ordinary people when they will just not accept anymore these Orwellian blatant lies.
The respect for difference under the same flag, that is stronger than bricks, and you know it. It's what you cannot stand about our country, our reasonable, tolerant country, but it's absolutely who we are.
And what's he talking about there, Philip Casale? Because, I'm sorry, none of the issues that have been raised by the vast bulk of people following the Southport massacre or before have anything to do with the colour of anyone's skin. It's actually been about the changes to the country, the complete lack of infrastructure for this huge invasion, and critically, the values that some of these people have coming into the country where they quite clearly hate what it means to be English, what it means to live here, what it means to be part of a liberal, tolerant society. And yes, I do include extreme Islam in that, by the way, that wants to throw someone like me as a gay man off the top of a building. And that is no exaggeration, because that is what is taught in a lot of the mosques in East London. Now, I'm sorry, I don't believe that does make me someone who's going against the fabric of what it means to be English.
It's really interesting listening to him talk there, and I've listened to that a few times. There's been a violence done to the culture over the last few years, and there's a sense that now we're in a period where people, in a way, just don't take anything these people say seriously, because, as I said before, it's lies that are coming out of their mouths. So on the one hand, okay, we have Islamist extremism. We have young men from very hostile cultures coming into this country, and we are not allowed to critique any of it. Okay, we're not even allowed to acknowledge it's happening. We can't even look at stats, for example, that tell us that there are sexual assaults going on in London, particularly on the public transport system. We don't know who's doing them. We know they're men, and we know that there are plenty of them going on. They've gone through the roof since 2020, but we don't have any more detail than that. They will not give us a demographic breakdown, and we know why that's the case. Okay, so we are not allowed to talk about or criticize any other culture. In fact, we have to celebrate every other culture. That's all we do. We celebrate every other culture. We celebrate diversity. We celebrate inclusion, apart from the inclusion of the British culture. All we do is deconstruct the British culture. Children are brainwashed into thinking that their history is terrible, that they are terrible because of the color of their white skin, that they need to repent somehow and make reparations. And we're talking primarily here about poor people. poor people somehow need to make reparations. So that's where we are at the moment. And all the Prime Minister, my God, he's the Prime Minister, all the Prime Minister is doing there is saying, look, you're rubbish. We're not listening to you. We don't care about what you think. We don't care about any of your concerns. We don't care about British culture. We are as quickly as possible deconstructing it. And we've had this intellectual, social, cultural deconstruction. We are heading for crisis. We are heading for the brick wall. Well, you could say the plane's crashed into the mountain anyway.
Oh,
and
yes, I think we're there.
the Labour government is accelerating that process in a far greater way than even I thought they would do.
Totally. And they hid it from us too. He wasn't done there. Philip, more from Starmer.
Whatever anyone thinks about immigration, I will never accept the argument made not just by the usual suspects, but by people who should have known better, who said that millions of people concerned about immigration are one and the same thing as the people who smashed up businesses, who targeted mosques, attempted to burn refugees, scrawled racist graffiti over walls, Nazi salutes at the cenotaph, attacked NHS nurses, and told people with different coloured skin, people who contribute here, people who grew up here, that they should go home. No.
And he is the one that's making anyone who feels like they do have concerns about mass immigration, like he's calling them some sort of racist.
Yeah, it's textbook manipulation, and it's quite worrying to look at it as we're looking at the clips.
And what about one of the country's best known landlords, my friend Adam Brooks? He writes, and now these authoritarian lunatics are coming to finish off the pubs. You'll do as they say, no having fun or bad habits. Well done, Labour voters. And seriously, Philip Casale from the New Culture Forum, I am so despondent and desolate about this decision because, number one, do you not realise the pub closing time is already far too early? And number two, just F off out of my life. What are they doing and why are they destroying a trade and a business that has already had an almost impossible past 5 years after the lunacy that they had to deal with during the COVID pandemic?
There's something about going to a pub, sitting down with a pint, and it needs to be a pint, and chatting. There's something that's, for me, eminently civilized about that. You can discuss things, you can resolve things, you can think about the culture, you can exchange. It seems to me that one, they just want to stop us having fun because they're miserable, and that's that's as far as it goes on that level. But the other level is they just want to stop us talking. They want to stop us gathering because half the time, when I don't know what you're like, but when I'm in the pub and I frequent the Westminster Arms and places like that, all the talk is about politics, So there's something there about, it's a soft way of making life just that little bit more miserable. It's a way of just disconnecting us that little bit more from our friends. And this idea of, now is it a 3/4 pint rather than a pint that they're trying to that seems to have fallen flat on its face? A 3/4 pint? No, I won't have that. I'll die before I drink a 3/4 pint. It's just ludicrous. But it's one of those things, Dan, very, very quickly, that it's an overreach. Okay, It's this nanny state thing. It's what I call mummy knows best. Okay, it's such an overreach that in a way, I want them to do much more of it. And I feel guilty about enjoying myself watching them fall flat on their faces because I know the issues are so serious. They're freezing grannies. They're getting in bed with the unions. They're bowing to Islam. And now, for God's sake, they're trying to take our pint away. So let them do it. Let them do all of these crazy things. They'll come a cropper sooner rather than later. But we must remember the issues are so damn serious.
They are indeed. And these are all distractions and diversions. And I will point out, Philip, who is the pub most connected with? Usually the white working classes, and obviously not entirely. And I actually think our pub culture is one of our great unifiers, and maybe one of the issues with the fact that Islam doesn't tend to integrate into society so much is because they don't drink, and we do have this pub culture. But I would say it just always feels like under this new government, it is the white working classes who are targeted time and again.
Yes, it's on every level. So I mean, I was quite staggered at this ridiculous piece of kind of foolishness. But you just see it in every kind of way, and it's as I always say, this isn't just about two-tier policing. It's about two-tier everything. And our experience of life in this country is slowly being removed from what is an historical cultural experience of life, that continuity from our parents. There's something really special about, going to the pub for the first time with your dad when you're 18, for example. There's something culturally that really speaks to us about that. And it feels as though as I said before, they're trying to deconstruct our culture and replace it with something else. Now, you could argue it's globalist and it's bland and it's anonymous and all of those things. But I think you're right, Dan. I think it's more than that. I think there is a particularly large and growing demographic in this country that dislikes all of these things that are connected, because they don't participate in them, connected with one, white working class men, but also the historic continuity of the culture and what the left and the Islamists embed together. My God, that's an unholy alliance that is going to end in tears. But what they want is to take these things away from us. But it's taking our identity away from us. The Great British Pub is very much part of the British identity, and it must continue.
It really must. It really must. But unfortunately, I think it is under serious threat. Philip Casale, what an absolute pleasure it has been to have you back on Outspoken. One of the only sane voices, it seems, in academia these days, and also a fellow at the brilliant New Culture Forum. Thank you so much, Philip. Speak soon.
Thanks, Dan.
So it's back to me now, and of course, yes, I've got one more lot of things to show you here. Well, just a thing that I will leave you here on this particular show here. Thank you very much for watching everything here. It really, really is a pleasure that you do tune in, whoever tunes in. So this is something that we did a few days ago now, and it is the East Town Park. We called it Feast Town Park, but it's actually East Town Park in Haverhill, Suffolk. Well, hello there, and welcome to, of course, something that you're about to see this afternoon or this morning or whatever live stream that you're about to see. My name's Nick C here, and of course what you're about to see is not what is behind me just over there. That is the back of Giuliani Buzz from a nice and relaxing show. Of course, I don't know what quite he's doing behind the scenes there, marking something, marking scores and things like that, keeping up to date with the football results, that kind of thing. We didn't see much of Saturday 2 because it went straight into the women football. After that, they didn't even say goodbye at the end of the programme. Yeah, I always like a presenter to say goodbye. You know, when it straight goes to another programme or goes straight to another programme, it can be sort of frustrating when, of course, it doesn't go back to the studio and they say goodbye. But, you know, some people like that, some people don't. Anyway, we're not here to discuss that. We're going to go straight live to a park named East Town Park, not Feast Town Park. Okay, and it comes from Sunday the 22nd of September 2024. Watch this. Well, before you watch this, actually, just hold the thought for 1 second here.
there is something very interesting to listen out for at the end here. When you listen to my particular voice, it has happened on occasions here where, of course, I've been too close to the microphone. I do apologise about this. It's not often you get to hear, of course, sustaining kind of microphone sound. That's because I'm too close to the microphone. If I sound like that, it sounds really, really sustaining. So if I stand back like this, it's more comfortable to listen to. So I do apologise. I'm the only one with the voice like that because it's a little bit more louder than the others. So I can only apologise about that. Because I express my voice a lot more than others, that's what it is. And I just wanted to read it so people could understand what I was saying here. Okay? So let's go live now. Hello? Are you there? Hello?
What? Hello?
You're miles away. Hello? How are you today?
Fine, tired.
Tired? Oh, you just got up then?
No, I got up an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So we've come to East Ham Park to have a little bit of a chinwag, as in a chat, and we're doing it for the show because we did an audio earlier, and we recorded one.
Are you on a live?
No, we're not live. We're recording.
Oh, that's fine. Just checking.
Okay, so we can edit this later if there's any.
No, you don't have to write any messages or anything on there.
Need to.
Do you have to write any messages on there or anything?
Nope.
Okay, just checking again.
No, we'll do that later. It's pre-recorded. They think it's live. We are live, but not live. You know what I mean? We're just talking as we are.
Yeah.
As it's Sunday here, I think I'll spray this.
No, not only me.
Yeah. So it smells really nice. It makes it look good. Can you smell it? Can you smell what it is?
Not from here, no, thank
That's
God.
good.
Nursery.
Hotspot in my phone.
Why am I hotspotting your? Why am I? I'm on your flipping hotspot. What's going? I don't know.
Flipping?
Whoa, man! The made me jump.
The dogs around here. Oh.
Wait, excuse me. I was going to show them. Look at me. I can connect your phone manually.
Oh yeah.
Look, Nick. Julian.
Oh, there's the dog
look.
there. It's just there.
Julian, look. I can connect to his phone. Right there.
Yeah, I can tell you that. Well, they make you cough, don't they? Do they? Not supposed to touch them either. I didn't know that.
Why am I connected to your Wi-Fi? I've got mine 4G. That's crazy. Probably the new update's done it.
Yeah, because I've got it registered on my phone. My 4G's on.
No, it's not that, Nick. It's the new update. Yeah. Oh wow.
Okay, can I read
Updating
something?
again.
Can I read something?
Yeah.
No.
I'm updating to 18. Go on, carry on.
Yeah. Okay, when someone lets you down, this is on the book of word for today. Take control of what I say, O Lord, and guard my lips. When someone lets you down. When William Gladstone was the Chancellor of Exchequer in Britain, he requested that the Treasury send him certain statistics upon which he might base his budget proposals. Unfortunately, the statistician made a mistake, and Gladstone was so certain of this man's reputation for accuracy that he didn't take time to verify his figures. As a result, Gladstone went before the House of Commons and gave a speech based on the incorrect information given to him. His speech was no sooner published than the inaccuracies were exposed, and he became the brunt of terrible public ridicule. When the Chancellor sent for the statistician who had given him the inaccurate information, the man arrived full of fear and shame, certain he was going to be fired. Instead, Gladstone said, "I know how much you must be disturbed over what has happened, so I have sent for you to put you at ease. For a long time, you have been engaged in handling the intricacies of the national accounts, and this is the first mistake that you have made. I want to congratulate you and express my keen appreciation.
I've got no update now.
Can you imagine the sense of relief, gratitude, and hope the man that day, as of course he walked out of the Gladstone's office? It takes a Christ-like person to extend mercy, to listen well as talk, and to think before jumping into action. So instead of retaliating in anger today, and to think before jumping into action, instead of relating into anger, pray today. Take control of what I say, O Lord, and guard my lips. And when you begin to pray that way and really mean it, it indicates that you're growing in grace.
Wow.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good one. Be a giver. I'll read you this because it's Sunday, you know, because it's a church feeling day.
It is a church filling day, and it feels like a good church filling day when we're
It does.
sitting here with you two.
Ah, all the friends and family, like your channel. Yeah, we are to decide on a brand new channel, and I've been thinking about it a lot. So, of course, the laugh like we used to is one of them. Or we could have comedy that makes you giggle.
I know, man. I know something that makes you laugh, makes you laugh, makes you laugh. Where's it come from?
Oh yeah, I know a song that makes you laugh. That's me. That's my song. I know a song that you'll enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy.
Oh yeah.
That's my song that I wrote, yeah. I made a song. Yeah, let's get on with this. Yeah, word for today is picked up by the Burger Man in Haverhill, and you can actually get them delivered to your door as well. So it's word for today's little magazine, but they do have updated versions. I don't know what's going on there in that sort of section here. You're at a different section of East Ham Park. I'm at the other end. It feels like weird, doesn't it? Feels very weird, doesn't it? It's kind of like cool, isn't it?
Are you going to use it, Nick?
I've already read that.
Can I have a look?
Yeah, we've already done that on audio.
Yeah, it's about mental health.
We'll probably do it live again, you know.
You probably know some of those words anyway.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Be a giver. Give and it shall be given to you. If you want to become a giver, think of yourselves as a river instead of a reservoir. The reservoirs continually take in water, but only to fill themselves up. In contrast, a river flows.
It does.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever water it receives, it gives it away. Note that Jesus said about giving.
Of the world, including fame and fortune, is temporary. Individuals are what matter. Your job pass on and your interests will die with you. People live on. Your true measure of success is not the number of individuals who help you, but the number of individuals help. See the Latins number 5, number 13, if you don't understand. Don't let stuff on your own. No one should ever become. See Corinthians number 2.
Anything to say about the strike in clothing factories? And when others
decided your heart to give, not reluctantly under your compulsion. For God loves cheerful giver. Giving, God rewards you purposeful giving when it's done with a cheerful attitude. Here are 3 ways to do that. Number 1, put people before yourself. Everyone of the thing of the world, including fame and fortune, is temporary. Individuals are what matter. Your job pass on and your interests will die with you. People live on. Your true measure of success is not the number of individuals who help you, but the number of individuals help. See the lessons number 5, number 13, if you don't understand. Don't let stuff on your own. No one should ever become slave to their stuff. No one should make their life work about obtaining more just to have more. If you want to be in control of your heart, don't let your belongings take control of you. The question is, do you own your possessions? Do your possessions own you? Give you the only resource to make the world better a place to live, and they do this regarding how little they see, or have rather. See Matthew number 6, number 21. Define success as said. Consider the success of the day based on seeds. I sow not the harvest I reap, that it should be. By the way, we judge not only other days, be entire lives. See Corinthians number 2 or number 9 and point 610. If you live life with intention of enriching the lives of others, your life will be full, not empty. This is the end of the reading.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you very much indeed. That's better.
That's something I just like to read that.
Yeah. That's brilliant. It's not bad at all.
Not easy, can you read
I've done it a lot of times.
Reading a lesson.
I've actually done it a lot of times, so it doesn't matter to me. Knowing when to be quiet. Calvin Coolidge, the 30th US president, was known as a reserved man who spoke very little. One day, when a reporter attempted to interview him, the conversation went like this. Reporter, do you wish to say anything about the war threat in Europe? Coolidge said no, and reporter replied, do you have anything to say about the strike in clothing factories? Coolidge said no. Reporter said, do you have anything to say about the League of Nations? Coolidge said no. Reporter turned around and said, would you care to comment on the farm production problem? Coolidge said no. As the reporter was leaving the room, Coolidge unexpectedly called him back and said with a smile, don't quote me. The Bible says, for everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven. A time to be quiet, a time to speak. Never allow yourself to be pressured into saying something you don't want to say, or get drawn in when you don't feel like talking. Silence isn't a lack of communication, it's a form of communication and can be a very effective one. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it until afterwards. One thing is for sure, what you don't say today, you won't have to explain or apologise for tomorrow. If your tendency is to speak without thinking, or when you have nothing constructive to add, weigh the situation carefully and ask God for wisdom before deciding if you should speak or be quiet. Remember, even dunces who keep quiet are thought to be wise, as long as they keep their mouths shut. Wow.
Like some people. I
can't mention no names. Have I got time to read two more before the battery goes? Yeah, very quickly I'll read these because we are on a tight schedule because our battery's about to go on my
Pass me your Samsung
laptop.
and I'll charge it through this.
No, you can't charge the laptop though.
I have Samsung, I can through this. I've just charged my phone through that.
I'm talking about the laptop is going to die.
Oh,
so I've got to be very quick. Okay, so word for today, when the, I'll say it again, because I can edit this later. When God opens the door, number 1. I have set before you an open door. In seeking to know God's will, there are 2 things you should never do.
Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday.
So in seeking to know what's God's will, there are 2 things, okay, you should never do. First, when the door is closed, get impatient and force it open. Second, create your own door. To succeed in what God has called you to do, follow the open door policy. The Bible describes it this way. To the angel of the church in the Philadelphia write, these things says, he who is holy, he who is true, he who has the key of David, he who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens. I know your works. See, I have set before an open door, and no one can shut it. For you I have a little strength, and kept my word, and have not denied my name. Who does God open the door for? Number 1.
People.
Okay, people who have a little strength. So, your mistakes don't disqualify you as long as you are willing to learn from them. And your inadequacies don't limit God if you allow them to make you more dependent on Him. Number 2, people who have kept my word. The people God opens the door are governed by this guiding principle.
Sorry to interrupt you, they need to stop, it's raining.
Well, it's not raining yet.
Well, it is, because it's raining on my head. I can see
Okay,
it.
let me just finish, please.
I
Governed by this guiding principle. Whatever God's word says about it, that's what I'm going to think, believe, and do.
Yeah, it's raining.
If it's not on God's blueprint, don't build it. If it's not on God's recipe book, don't mix it in. Number 3, people who have not denied my name, regardless of rejection or ridicule. These people speak boldly about things they value most in life, including their relationship with Jesus. If you want God to open your doors for you, live by these principles every day. Okay, very quickly, this one here, before it does chuck down, it's actually not raining really, but
spitting.
it's spitting. When God opens the door, number 2, a great and effective door has opened to me, and there are many adversaries. The New Living Translation states Paul's words this way: there is a wide open door for a great work here, although many oppose me. In doing the will of God, you should anticipate opposition for those who are not privy to what God has shared with you or instructed you to do. Indeed, if you are accepted and applauded wherever you go, you should re-examine either the assignment you believe God has given to you or the way in which you are carrying out. You say, but didn't Jesus say his yoke was easy? Yes, and he was taking about a comfortable fitting yoke around the neck of a hard-working ox that ploughed from the morning until night. The work was hard, but the yoke was comfortable. This means when God calls you to do something difficult, he will provide you with grace and resources to do it. You say, but Satan is attacking me. Attack is a sign of respect. It means you represent a threat to the kingdom of darkness. And as you get closer to your God-given goal, expect Satan's attack to intensify. But there is good news, okay? The good news is that the intensity of the attack is an indicator of the blessing God has for you on the other side of the attack. And one more thought before we go. Your greatest rewards will not come in this life, but in the life to come. But that's good, because you won't just be temporal, it will be internal. The hymnist wrote, to him that cometh a crown of life shall be, he with the King of glory shall reign eternally. That is the end here. Thank you so much indeed. Oh, you're going to put it in my pocket there. And thank you everybody that has listened in here.
Sorry about the hat situation, but you need to put it on your head.
Yeah,
Don't lose it.
I think I deserve it here because I've finished in good timing here. We're going to pack up now.
Whoa, you're pressing those buttons, sweetheart.
We're going to pack up now, so thank you very much for watching here. Oh. What are you doing? Oh, say hello then.
Hello.
Hello. It's not even raining.
It's spitting. Do you want to get soaked with that? If you get that soaked and that goes right in the rain, comes down fast, that won't work for long.
You make me laugh.
Well,
Anyway.
I was sitting next on to it's true.
Okay,
So that marks the end of the latest Nixie on that particular note here. Of course, hearing myself twice there, and I do apologise about the, of course, sustaining sound that I did at the time. It was Sunday, the 22nd of September 2024. It's time for me to hit the hay, but of course, a huge thank you for those people who have watched live and those who have watched on the replay. But yeah, we have to mix everything around here. I do apologise if it was in all a sort of muddle. So there we have it. The end of story for now. And of course, just remember those beautiful words that you hear from the Word of Today, written by Bob and Debbie Gass, United Christian Broadcasters. Basically, a volunteer-run radio station of the Christian kind. Based in Stoke-on-Trent, it's definitely worth, of course, checking out. From myself, Nick C, TTFN, and we'll see you next time. Peace out, God bless you all, and stay safe.